Welcome back to the Bitcoin Zodiac and happy Sagittarius new moon. I hope you're all doing well. I've had a really interesting week. I just did an amazing session with the Retire Early community with Bitcoin with Dinny, talking about all things Bitcoin and financial astrology. So that was really fun. He's cultivated a really fun, amazing group of people. So that was really entertaining for me and just really informative. It was a really, really good session. So thanks for having me, guys. If there's anyone here from Bitcoin with Dinny's group, welcome to the Bitcoin Zodiac and welcome back to all of you. So we've had some interesting sort of moves with Bitcoin. As we said in the last episode, we have had that Mercury retrograde come in. And so that has kind of, I said in the last episode that we would see some confusion around the communication to do with Bitcoin, and we've definitely seen that. Is it going up? Is it going down? Are we having a big retracement? Is it going to go through 100K? So we've noticed that confusion, and so it's really important just to stay grounded during that time. We are also coming into the new moon, so we can sort of expect that momentum, that upward momentum to sort of be slowing down a little bit and expecting some kind of breather. How deep that will be, we don't know, but we can expect that. I don't think it's anything to be concerned about, but watch and see. And so, yeah, welcome to Sagittarius new moon. So exciting. We are deep in Saggy season, arguably one of the best seasons, or the best season, actually. I'm a little biased. I'm Sagittarius myself, so the energy, this fiery energy is just so aligned for me. So it's been a really good couple of weeks. And so really, as we switch from the watery depths of Scorpio into Sagittarius, the more expansive, big picture Sagittarius, we're switching it from Scorpio's deep waters, deep introspective waters, and into, Sagittarius' expansive realm. So it's really an invitation to expand minds, hearts, and our aspirations for the future. So it's a really good time to reflect on the past, but while seeking higher wisdom, for the future and for life's journey as a whole. Sagittarius really inspires positivity, emotional processing. We love a lot of that. Very philosophical in nature, and also healing through gratitude. So that's a really important sort of part of the optimistic side of Sagittarius, is that, we're grateful for even the challenges that come. And I'm really trying to practice that in my own life, that even when these kind of like uncomfortable things are going on, or there's some tension or whatever, I'm kind of trying to look at them in a way that I'm excited. Like, this is something I get to process and I get to move through and I get to transcend. And so I'm grateful for everything that comes. So the essence of Sagittarius really is the seeker and the sage. So Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, which is the planet of expansion, and it's ignited by fire. So it embodies the archetype also of the student, the philosopher, and the wanderer, really. So for Sagittarius energy to lean into that this Sagittarius season, it's to view life as a classroom. Like, every experience offers valuable lessons and insight into yourself, into other people. And, this is the time to sort of embody that. So you can also recognize that growth often requires bold leaps of faith and to trust the journey, to trust the universe. And so just to know that the energy is supporting you in those moves at this time. So also Sagittarius season, it really encourages openness to diverse truths and experiences. So growth really comes from releasing outdated beliefs and embracing change. And that's a real theme for this season. So flexibility of thought really leads to personal expansion. And The Sagittarius new moon is actually a really important moon for manifestation. So it's really starting to set the stage for 2025. So this is the time to be setting your intentions, to be dreaming big, having big visions, and setting intentions going forward into 2025 in this next new year. So subconscious belief is really the foundation of creation and manifestation. So aligning subconscious beliefs with your desires. And then the important piece as well is taking inspired action and trusting that the universe is supporting you. So really under this new moon, really clarify your dreams, cultivate the beliefs, look at the blockages to those beliefs as well, and boldly step forward in faith. So the energy is really supporting those kind of moves. Sagittarius energy really encourages stepping beyond our comfort zones and just acknowledging that life's lessons are not about absolute right and wrong, but they're about personal growth and evolution. So you want to embrace new experiences and expand your horizons and, be open to unlocking new possibilities. So the question really for this season is, are you holding on to outdated beliefs? And are you holding on to them out of fear? Because this is really the time to boldly step through fear. So the universe also communicates through signs, through numbers, encounters, and symbols. So really stay attuned to these kind of synchronicities and trust in their messages. Really ask for specific signs and believe in the serendipity of these signs to align you with your highest path. So as I said, leaps of faith and trusting the journey is very, very important this season. So acting with courage once those signs have revealed the next step and trusting in the best possible outcome, even in uncertainty. So every leap carries meaning and contributes to your growth. So it's really a time to face your fears and let that Sagittarian optimism guide you and lead you. Knowing also that the universe supports your evolution through all experiences. So life offers a mix of joy, challenges, opportunities, and they're all for your evolution and growth. So finding purpose in every moment really fosters this healing of the subconscious belief system, new neural programming, nervous system realignment, and also manifestation. So you want to harness the Sagittarius energy, manifesting your desires through belief and inspired action. Don't leave that out. Some people like to just sit and believe, but it actually takes inspired action. And the Sagittarius energy really pushes that forward through you. So explore new perspectives and let go of outdated patterns. Stay open to the signs and guidance of the universe. Take courageous leaps towards your dreams and align with Sagittarius optimism to grow, transform, and manifest. So that's the flavor of Saggy season. Who doesn't like that? Everybody likes that. But the new moon in Sagittarius is really a gateway to manifestation. So as I said, it's a very important time to be sort of setting your intentions for the coming year. And it's starting to sort of put that in motion. So this new moon really invites you to set intentions that align with your dreams and your growth and to co-create with the universe. So feel your intentions merging with this cosmic energy, setting the stage for future manifestation. It's also a time to really tap into your potential, open yourself to new possibilities that support your highest aspirations. Like, this is not a time to be setting small goals. This is a time to be really expansive, play with that energy and see the big picture and dream really big. So you want to also be looking at anything that's blocking that, anything that feels uncomfortable, that sort of blocks that way of being and believing and sort of realizing these sort of subconscious blocks that you've created. So Fear often holds us back from realizing our full potential, whether it's fear of the unknown or even fear of success, and obviously fear of failure. But the thing is that our subconscious doesn't really associate with good and bad. It doesn't associate with, do I want this or do I not want this? Our subconscious job is to keep us safe. And so it aligns with what is familiar and what feels safe. So really our job to expand the capacity for what our nervous system can hold is really about going into those subconscious belief systems and sort of rewiring them and being able to create a space, create visions for your dreams and your goals, so that your subconscious has already lived that, and that is the familiar for the subconscious, so that you're not kind of blocking yourself and self-sabotaging. So you want to shift your perspective and really ask yourself empowering questions. Like, what if everything aligns perfectly? Like, what does that look like? Create a vision for that. Allow your subconscious to become familiar and feel safe with that vision. And who would you become if you succeeded? What would that look like? What would the world look like from that perspective? So you want to use this expansive energy to envision the best case scenarios and embrace new opportunities. So you want to rewrite your truths or your limiting beliefs that you've held to be true. So Sagittarius inspires us to explore and revise the inner truths, shaping our lives. So there's a very philosophical element to Sagittarius energy. And it really sort of, encourages you while looking at this expansive big picture to really kind of go deep within yourself and philosophize yourself in a way and sort of check out those limiting beliefs that you've been holding to be true for far too long. So identify beliefs that make you feel safe, but actually don't align or restrict your potential. So you want to ask these questions. Are these truths serving my growth? Is an inner voice limiting what I believe is possible? So right intentions that challenge old narratives, paving the way for transformation. So as I said, this energy is not about playing small. It's about expansion, and it's about, having a big expanded worldview. So we also have the new moon square Saturn in Pisces. So this kind of grounds your dreams into reality. It encourages long-term success through practical action. And it aligns spiritual insights with tangible outcomes. So you have the Sagittarius energy that's creating this big, expansive, big picture. And then you have this influence kind of grounding that into reality through aligned action. We also have Mars in Leo trine the new moon. And so that infuses this bold, creative energy into your intentions, encourages confident, inspired action, helps you take center stage of your life. Like, this is really a theme for Sagittarius as well. It's very much main character energy. And so when you combine that with the Sagittarius expansion, these sort of two aspects combine vision, practicality, and courage to create this powerful momentum for growth and manifestation. So the new moon blends Sagittarius' expansive energy with Saturn's grounding influence and Mars's bold creativity. So it's a really unique opportunity to dream big, plan wisely, and really act decisively. So you want to step into your power, seize opportunities, and trust that the universe supports your journey. So use this new moon to align your energy with your highest potential Let truth-seeking, expansive energy of Sagittarius guide you to transformation and eventually manifestation. And, just embrace this magical time with, confidence, clarity, and also trust. So the new moon and Bitcoin. So of course, the new moon marks the beginning of a lunar cycle and is the time for planting seeds, setting intentions, and initiating new ventures. So in the sign of Sagittarius, this energy is amplified with themes of expansion and optimism and long-term big picture vision. So Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, as I said, which is the planet of expansion, growth, and abundance. So it aligns with big ideas, risk-taking, and exploration. So it makes it a significant time for both financial markets and also for personal growth as well. So really for Sagittarius themes to do with the financial markets, again, it's expansion and risk-taking. So Sagittarius energy really encourages optimism and bold moves. So this may result in increased appetite for risk and higher trading volumes in speculative assets like Bitcoin. So you want to focus on the long-term vision. Sagittarius is a visionary sign, and so the markets may see a focus on future growth. So an increased interest in long-term investments and innovation, such as blockchain and Bitcoin. And also what we could see, because Sagittarius is very much a travel energy, we could see a big focus also on global and cross-border investments and payments. So Sagittarius, as I said, rules travel, foreign investments, and global connections. So during this time, we could observe increased activity in international markets, heightened interest in assets with global appeal, such as Bitcoin. And some of these, are maybe seeing a shift towards seeing Bitcoin as, maybe something that solves some of these problems with cross-border payments and things like that. So keep an eye on what the BRICS nations are up to during this time as well, because they're always very much about, figuring out trading currencies and de-dollarization and alternatives. And so it'll be really interesting to sort of see how that moves forward for Bitcoin. As America, as Donald Trump has said, he's considering making Bitcoin a reserve asset, and we already have Brazil that are pushing that through at the moment. So will that then be this next wave of evolution for Bitcoin? Will it be seen as a system that is suitable for, yes, a reserve asset? We already know that its store of value is kind of solidified. But the next evolution is then kind of like cross-border payments and actually becoming currency. So we're not there yet, but it's exciting to sort of open open our minds to those kind of possibilities. So we could also see some bullish sentiment, even though it is a new moon. And as I said, it sort of tends to be the momentum of that up move. So we see some slowing down after the new moon. So we could see a bit of a retracement, a bit of a breather in the up move. As I said, don't think it's anything major. But also then we have this very bullish energy of Sagittarius. So the optimism associated with Sagittarius coupled with like new beginnings symbolized by the new moon often aligns with like quite bullish trends. Especially in speculative markets. So Bitcoin's price may see some upward momentum as investors feel more confident about the asset's long-term potential. So let's see. We do have some downward pressure, I think, as I said, the new moon, and we also still have Mercury retrograde overhanging there, but I think that's sort of why that will balance out that energy, and we're not going to see some big retracement. Although while that optimism can drive prices higher, we do have that downward pressure. So the expansive energy of Sagittarius also increases like market volatility. So we should just be prepared for possible like quick, sharp price swings during this period. So really want to, under this new moon energy as well, we really want to focus on technology and innovation. Sagittarius supports forward thinking, and Bitcoin being an innovative financial technology may attract like renewed interest, particularly from investors seeking to diversify their portfolios to capitalize on emerging trends. So also keep in mind the AI driven altcoins or the infrastructure driven altcoins. They could also see some interesting supportive energy during this time as well. So we have Jupiter as the ruler of Sagittarius, and Jupiter's current position in Taurus also adds like an earthy, stable element to like an otherwise very fiery new moon. So it suggests this balance between optimism and practicality in the market. So be aware of that. So you want to focus on assets with long-term stability and utility, such as Bitcoin, rather than highly speculative, like untested ventures, like some of the meme coins and things like that. We also, as I said, we have the new moon trine Mars in Leo. And so this infuses the new moon with confidence and creative energy. And it suggests a favorable time to take calculated risks or to launch something new. So again, we have as I spoke about earlier, the new moon square Saturn in Pisces. And this tension here suggests the need for some grounded optimism and, optimism that's grounded in reality, basically. So be a bit cautious of overextending yourself or sort of getting sucked into overly idealistic kind of pitches. Like there's a lot of information out there right now about future predictions in Bitcoin's price. I stay well away from that personally because I do have a base case, but no one really knows this, so I'd rather take it like one step at a time. And I just personally think that that's the best way to approach the markets. So on the 2nd of December, we have a transiting North Node conjunct Bitcoin's natal Jupiter. So the impact of a transiting North Node conjunct Bitcoin's natal Jupiter, really in financial astrology, the North Node represents destiny, future growth, and collective focus. So when the transiting North Node aligns with Bitcoin's natal Jupiter, it creates this powerful astrological influence that can affect Bitcoin's price, market sentiment, and overall perception of Bitcoin in the markets and in the global financial system. So Jupiter is the planet of expansion, as we've discussed, as optimism, abundance, making this conjunction a highly significant aspect. So with the North Node, it represents a karmic pull towards future growth and evolution. So in financial markets, it suggests areas of collective focus and development. And then we have Jupiter, again, symbolizing expansion, optimism, and opportunities for abundance. So in Bitcoin's chart, Jupiter highlights its potential for exponential growth, global adoption, and also for speculative activity. So a conjunction is a blending of energies, amplifying the traits of both the North Node and Jupiter. So this aspect points to a pivotal period of growth and increased attention on Bitcoin. Jupiter's expansive energy combined with the North Node's forward pull signals a period of significant growth for Bitcoin. And this is also significant attention on Bitcoin. And so this increased adoption, attention, and optimism about Bitcoin's potential could also drive the price higher. So it's really a focus on the future. The North Node emphasizes Bitcoin's role as a forward-thinking financial asset, and this transit may align with broader societal shifts towards a trustless system, decentralized finance, blockchain adoption as a technology as a whole, and Bitcoin as a global store of value and potentially currency. So the conjunction suggests that Bitcoin is entering a phase where it fulfills its destiny. Like I said in the last episode, it's really an idea whose time has come, and as a transformative financial technology. So this could be marked by major news, more institutional investments, Michael Saylor buying more Bitcoin, or regulatory developments that really validate Bitcoin's role in the global economy. So Jupiter's optimistic energy can create a bullish trend on Bitcoin's price, and investors may view Bitcoin as a more viable and essential asset, leading to increased demand. So while the overall trend is upwards, and this is definitely a positive aspect, Jupiter's expansive nature can also really amplify volatility. So just watch out for that too. Price swings may occur as investors react to news or developments or just market speculation. During this time, there may be an awful lot of leverage built up in the market as well. So that will need to be flushed out. So just be aware of that movement as well. This transit also may coincide with significant milestones, such as governments or large corporations embracing Bitcoin. And these kind of developments can really boost investor confidence, of course, and possibly push Bitcoin's price higher. So we're really, this kind of aspect really marks a shift in sentiment. So Bitcoin really may gain renewed attention as a leading digital asset, really influencing trends in the market. Altcoins with complementary utility as well may also benefit from this increased interest in blockchain technology. So Bitcoin is king of crypto. And so, it leads the way, but keep an eye on some of those altcoins as well that really have interesting fundamentals, because they also may see some movement as well. It's really an institutional focus, this aspect. Jupiter's influence can really attract institutional investors and policy discussions about Bitcoin's role in the global financial system. So the conjunction may align with larger economic trends, such as inflation concerns or a push towards decentralized assets and a trustless system. And this can kind of drive interest in Bitcoin as a hedge. Now, I don't personally think it's accurate to say Bitcoin is a hedge against inflation. I prefer to describe Bitcoin as a hedge against currency debasement and government fuckery, basically. So really at this time, focus on education. Use this time to deepen your understanding of Bitcoin and blockchain technology, because greater knowledge can only help you make more informed decisions and really take advantage of emerging opportunities. So the transiting North Node conjunct Bitcoin's natal Jupiter really marks a period of potential expansion and adoption. So it's not just expansion in price, it's really expansion in adoption. So expect a bullish trend, but also be prepared for some volatility. This transit also supports a visionary approach to investing with a focus on Bitcoin's role in reshaping global finance. So stay alert for milestones. Regulatory clarity, institutional interest, and technological advancements can really drive some significant market movements during this time. And I think when we're talking about regulatory clarity, I think that's also within the altcoin market, because I think we can all accept that there needs to be a bit more of a framework around that, so that it really allows some of the projects that are really doing something real and innovating and creating these great ideas to sort of shine and flourish, but also be able to clear out some of the crap and the scammy kind of things that were really prevalent last cycle. So we want to clear those out. So that's going to be a bit of a focus, I think, during this transit. Then on the 3rd of December, we have a transit in Chiron, sextile Bitcoin's natal Uranus. So the impact of a transit in Chiron sextile Bitcoin's natal Uranus in financial astrology, Chiron is the wounded healer. It represents healing and wisdom through experience and the resolution of past wounds. So Uranus, on the other hand, symbolizes innovation, disruption, and sudden changes. So this sextile aspect, a sextile is a harmonious aspect, and it is a harmonious connection that facilitates growth and opportunities. So provided effort is made to harness that energy. So while transiting Chiron forms a sextile to Bitcoin's natal Uranus, it creates a dynamic period for healing disruptions in the world. In the markets, and unlocking innovative and forward-thinking approaches to adoption and growth. So in a financial context, Chiron highlights vulnerabilities and the potential for healing and growth. So for Bitcoin, Chiron's influence may address the market's perceived weaknesses, volatility, regulatory challenges, or even just public skepticism, and also sort of things from the past, like misunderstandings from the past about Bitcoin's identity, Bitcoin's purpose, and Bitcoin's worth. And then we have Uranus, which is the innovator and disruptor. And Uranus really governs breakthroughs, technology, and non-traditional systems. So for Bitcoin, Uranus symbolizes its role as a disruptive force in the global financial system, offering innovation through a trustless system and blockchain technology. So a sextile suggests this cooperative energy that encourages growth, healing, and innovation. And so this aspect will probably bring positive developments to Bitcoin adoption and really its reputation in the financial world. So healing Bitcoin's perception is what this aspect is all about. So Chiron's influence can help repair Bitcoin's reputation as a volatile, speculative asset only used by criminals and drug dealers and what have you, all of those, that kind of like very 2015 headlines around Bitcoin. And it's just really about fostering greater trust and acceptance among both, retail investors and institutions. So this period, we may see increased efforts to address criticisms or vulnerabilities in the Bitcoin ecosystem, and such as like scalability issues and things like that. So we're going to see a lot of that. So Uranus energy really supports technological advancements, regulatory clarity again, and new applications even for Bitcoin. So positive news about Bitcoin's integration into traditional financial systems, or the development of more efficient technologies like Lightning Network and things like that, could really emerge at this time. The sextile also encourages a cooperative effort among investors, regulators, institutions, and governments to address Bitcoin-related challenges. So this may include partnerships or educational initiatives or advancements that enhance Bitcoin's role in global finance. So the healing energy from Chiron may lead to greater market confidence, possibly reducing that volatility. And Uranus innovative energy can attract like new investors, new eyes on Bitcoin, really driving that demand and support for price increases. So Uranus often brings unexpected developments. So positive surprises, such as like regulatory breakthroughs or high profile endorsements, big Bitcoin buys could really boost Bitcoin's price. And these shifts may catch like short-term traders off guard. Like I said last episode, not really the time to be trying to take shorts on Bitcoin. I mean, of course you can. We do see pullbacks. We have been seeing a little bit of a pullback, but they can be short and fast and kind of hard to judge how deep they will go. So yeah, it's just more beneficial for you to let the market flush out a little bit and set yourself up for that next long position. There's also during this aspect is a real focus on utility and innovation. So market attention may shift towards Bitcoin's technological strengths and utility as a store of value and medium of exchange. So this could really lead to increased adoption and a steady rise in Bitcoin's value. Like I was saying, like keep an eye on what the BRICS currencies are doing. They seem to be very focused on gold right now and maybe creating their own currency. But I think the dynamic between the BRICS countries is very interesting because it seems to be sort of founded on a basis of the enemy of my enemy is my friend. There's not actually a lot of like historical trust between these countries. So something like Bitcoin that doesn't require trust may eventually play out and be an interesting solution for them. So only time will tell. I think this is where like game theory really kicks in, especially as I said, if America announce that they are going to make Bitcoin a reserve currency, a reserve asset, we will see the next, this is probably talking the next cycle, that will be where that next flood of money will come in. This cycle, it's been institutional investment driven by the institutions. The next cycle, we could see that next wave driven by nation states. So it's really interesting to be able to see how that plays out. And again, like it's really, this aspect also is very much about collaborative solutions. So this transit supports efforts to address any systemic challenges in Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency market, such as any regulatory uncertainty or technological inefficiencies. I really see that this cycle is probably going to be the last cycle that people are really going to be investing in a load of crap in crypto. I think people are going to become much more discerning and really want to be focused on projects that can really do something, which sounds so straightforward, but it's not what we've seen. So people get very caught up in the narratives and the hype and these kind of fake scammy products that have really good marketing, but they don't really do anything. I think we're going to be moving away from that. Bitcoin's role as the pioneering cryptocurrency may inspire also a broader acceptance of blockchain technology and encourage people that previously were not in the least bit interested in Bitcoin to sort of begin to, accept and understand that, well, Bitcoin's not going anywhere. It's only moving forward. So we could see some increased adoption. That's really the focus, much more than price action. It's much more a focus on adoption. So Chiron and Uranus working together may attract new users and institutions, potentially expanding Bitcoin's reach into untapped markets. So innovations can make Bitcoin more accessible and practical for even everyday use. So as I said, a focus on innovation. Bitcoin-related projects emphasizing technological progress, such as payment integration, may gain some momentum and be a topic of conversation, at least at this time. Also on the 3rd of December, we have transiting Uranus square Bitcoin's natal Venus. So in financial astrology, Venus governs values, currencies, assets, and relationships, including the relationship between an asset and its investors. So it's really, in financial astrology, Venus is the planet of love, and it really represents like what we love, what we value. So Uranus, on the other hand, as I said, is a planet of innovation, disruption, and sudden change. So a square aspect represents attention and challenges, but it also creates opportunities for growth and adaptation through conflict and recalibration. So it's not always easy, but everything is for our evolution. So when a transiting Uranus forms a square to Bitcoin's natal Venus, it introduces volatility, unexpected developments, and shift in the perceived value of Bitcoin, the way we value Bitcoin. So Venus represents Bitcoin's intrinsic value and its perceived worth in the market. So in financial markets, Venus governs price stability, market sentiment, and investor confidence. And then we have Uranus, of course, the disruption and innovation brings sudden and often disruptive events that challenge the status quo. So in Bitcoin's chart, Uranus symbolizes its role as a revolutionary financial technology and its susceptibility to volatility. So as I said, the square aspect creates a friction between the stability and value represented by Venus and the disruptive, unpredictable energy of Uranus. So this tension can lead to instability in Bitcoin's price and also in market sentiment. So again, under that cloud of Mercury retrograde, this could be quite a confusing aspect, and you might see some confusing and conflicting narratives going on at this time. So yeah, as Uranus disrupts Venus stabilizing influence, creating periods of heightened volatility. So sharp, unexpected price swings, both upward and downward, are likely during this transit. And challenges to Bitcoin's perceived value. Bitcoin's valuation may be questioned or reevaluated, especially in response to external events. So just keep an eye on that. And investors may also struggle to align their expectations with Bitcoin's fluctuating market performance. We all know that being a holder of Bitcoin is a mad roller coaster ride. And some people are not cut out for it. It's not, I always would say that Bitcoin is for everyone, but some people cannot stomach the volatility and the weird bad news or bad press about Bitcoin that if you know it's not true, but a lot of people are really swayed and influenced by that sort of thing. So this transit often coincides with surprising or disruptive news, such as changes in regulatory policy, technological setbacks, or breakthroughs in competitor assets. So we may start to see that narrative of why hold Bitcoin? You could hold Ethereum or Solana. So you're going to see some of that as well. And I'm not saying you shouldn't hold Ethereum or Solana, but I don't think you should replace your Bitcoin holdings with them. So expect to see some significant price fluctuations, making this a bit of a challenging ride for traders or new investors. Both sudden rallies and steep corrections are definitely possible. So keep an eye out also in terms of regulatory and technological advancements. Unexpected news related to Bitcoin's regulation, adoption, or technology could arise. So these developments may temporarily disrupt the market, but also could pave a way for future growth. So the tension of this transit could lead to polarized market sentiment, with some investors doubting Bitcoin or doubling down on Bitcoin. So it's a bit of both. Institutional players may adopt a wait and see approach during this period as well. And the challenges faced by Bitcoin may draw attention to other cryptocurrencies or technologies, perceived to be a better bet. So just be kind of wary of that. So next we have on the 5th of December, transiting Saturn opposite Bitcoin's natal Uranus. So in financial astrology, Saturn represents structure and discipline and limitations, while Uranus, again, there's a lot of Uranus happening, symbolizes innovation, disruption, and sudden change. So this opposition creates a tension between these two planetary energies, requiring balance and compromise. So when transiting Saturn opposes Bitcoin's natal Uranus, this transit highlights a clash between the need for regulation and the drive for innovation. So it introduces challenges that could lead to significant changes in Bitcoin's value and its place in the financial markets. So we have Saturn, which is really the taskmaster, the teacher, and it represents regulation, control, and demand for accountability. So in a financial context, Saturn governs traditional systems, institutions, and efforts to establish order. And then we have Uranus, which is like the rebel, the innovator, which symbolizes revolutionary ideas, breakthroughs, and the disruption of outdated systems. So for Bitcoin, Uranus represents its role as a trustless, decentralized, innovative financial technology, challenging traditional structures. So during this aspect, we may see a bit of pushback from those traditional structures. So the opposition aspect creates a tug of war between the restrictive tendencies of Saturn and the rebellious energy of Uranus. So this dynamic often results in tension, forcing markets and stakeholders to, to sort of find a compromise and to sort of adapt to new realities. So the conflict between regulation and innovation is very important. Saturn, it's really always the battle, actually, but this really highlights it with this aspect. So Saturn's energy emphasizes the real need for rules and stability and accountability, while Uranus pushes for freedom, innovation, and decentralization. And this really could manifest as regulatory pressures on Bitcoin, such as new laws or policies to seek to like limit the use or define its role within the financial system. So as we know, like Bitcoin is really establishing itself in the trajectory and evolution of Bitcoin as money is really establishing itself as a store of value. But it wasn't designed to just be a store of value. It's designed to be money. And so I think that those sorts of conversations are going to be coming up during this time. And there'll be some negotiations and some friction there. So while it's a challenging aspect, this transit can serve as a turning point for Bitcoin's evolution. So efforts to regulate or control Bitcoin may drive innovation, ultimately strengthening its role in the financial system. So next we have on December the 6th, Mars retrograde in Leo. And so Mars is the planet of action, drive, and ambition. It's often associated with energy and momentum in financial markets. So when Mars goes retrograde, it appears to be moving backwards in the sky. Its energy is slowed or redirected inwards, creating this period of reassessment and reflection. So in Leo, the sign linked to creativity, leadership, self-expression, Mars retrograde affects confidence, speculative ventures, and risk-taking behavior. So this transit has notable impacts for markets, particularly Bitcoin as a speculative, innovative, creative asset that thrives on momentum and investor confidence. So Mars retrograde really represents a slowdown in action and energy, leading to delays, reversals, and the need to revisit past strategies. So it encourages reflection and reassessment rather than initiating new ventures. And then we have Leo, which is the performer, a leader, that lion energy. Leo is associated with boldness, creativity, and risk-taking. So during retrograde, Leo's confidence-driven energy can waver, leading to hesitation or cautious decision-making. So the combined effect of that is a Mars retrograde in Leo can create a tension between the desire for bold action and the need for careful consideration. So this transit often brings some volatility and uncertainty, and also a reduced risk appetite. So Mars retrograde in Leo may dampen investor confidence, particularly in assets that are considered high risk. So again, keep an eye on that in the rest of the crypto markets too, but also, associated with Bitcoin as well. This could lead to a reduced trading volumes and just a temporary stagnation or decline in Bitcoin's price. As I said, don't think it's anything super major, but it's just putting a dampener on that upward momentum. So we may need to pause and reevaluate our portfolios, focusing on stability again and long-term value rather than short-term gains. This period may see fewer bold moves in the market and more cautious, calculated decisions. Leo's influence on creativity and self-expression could also lead to innovative solutions emerging, and particularly as challenges are reassessed. So expect maybe some volatility and temporary pullbacks. Bitcoin's price may experience increased volatility just as the confidence wavers during this Mars retrograde. So expect some temporary pullbacks or sideways movements rather than sustained rallies. This time you want to focus on the fundamentals. So this period could shift market attention from speculative gains to Bitcoin's long-term value and utility as an asset. So revisiting previous trends is also important. Retrogrades often bring back unresolved issues. So for Bitcoin, this could mean revisiting past price levels, regulatory concerns, or discussion about its scalability. So those kind of conversations could be expected at this time. On the 9th of December, we have transiting Jupiter, Semisquare, Bitcoin's natal Jupiter. So in financial astrology, we've got a lot of Jupiter and Uranus happening this period. Jupiter governs growth, optimism, expansion, and abundance. So it's a semi-square aspect. It's a 45-degree aspect, and it represents like a mild tension or friction that can highlight imbalances or spur adjustments. So when transiting Jupiter forms a semi-square to Bitcoin's natal Jupiter, it suggests a period of potential over-optimism, overextension, or the need to recalibrate expectations regarding Bitcoin's growth trajectory. So this aspect affects the financial markets by introducing a mix of enthusiasm and caution, which is really kind of a theme throughout this whole period, particularly in assets like Bitcoin, which is sensitive to shifts in sentiment and expectations. So again, Jupiter, the planet of expansion, represents optimism, opportunity, and long-term vision, governs speculative activity, growth cycles, and overall sentiment of abundance or scarcity. So the semi-square creating this mild, subtle yet noticeable friction that just requires some adjustment. So this aspect often signals a need to moderate expectations and realign efforts to ensure sustainable growth. So transiting Jupiter amplifies growth-orientated energy, but the semi-square aspect introduces tension, signaling that unchecked optimism or overextension can lead to challenges. So people may overestimate Bitcoin's short-term potential, leading to some volatility if those expectations are not met. So this could be a period of adjustment, and the friction of this aspect encourages like a recalibration of market strategies. Investors and institutions could reassess Bitcoin's role in their portfolios and adjust projections for its price performance. So while Jupiter is inherently growth-orientated, the semi-square indicates that the growth may be accompanied by obstacles or the need for fine-tuning. So really that is sort of the theme really throughout this entire period of time is it's optimistic, it's bullish, it's growth orientated, it's Sagittarius season, but there's also some aspects that are bringing in these elements to keep that in check a little bit and make sure we're growing in a healthy way and make sure we're growing in a sustainable way. And so there's some little dampeners on, that super expansive energy of Sagittarius season. And then that really brings us into the 15th of December, which marks the full moon in Gemini and also Mercury stationing direct. So it's the end of Mercury retrograde. And then Mercury leaves its shadow period on January the 2nd. So again, as we spoke about in the last episode, Mercury retrograde is really just this time of confusion in communication, glitches in technology, issues with travel and delays, those sorts of things. So it's just an overhanging thing during this period that I think is also contributing to the cap on that expansive Sagittarius energy. So we will discuss that deeper when we get there, when we get to the full moon in Gemini. But in the meantime, enjoy the new moon in Sagittarius, dream big, set some goals. And before we close, I just want to discuss something that we've been working really hard on at the Bitcoin Zodiac, and that is our educational suite. So I feel very strongly that if I'm going to be talking about Bitcoin every other week, I want the people that are listening to this and that are listening to me getting excited about Bitcoin to be able to enter the market and participate safely and with a good foundation. So I've created a few courses and within our education suite to assist you and support you in that. So welcome to the Bitcoin Zodiac Education Suite. We've been working really hard to put these courses together for you, and you can find them at thebitcoinzodiac.com, and then you can just click on education and it will bring you there to all of our courses. So as I said, I feel a really deep personal responsibility that if I'm talking about Bitcoin and crypto, that I want to also be able to provide people with a way to access it safely rather than Googling and finding your own way and getting scammed in various things. Like, I don't want that to happen to anyone in the Bitcoin Zodiac community at all. So the first course that we have is the Bitcoin and Crypto Foundations 101. So this really is your foundational understanding of really why Bitcoin exists, why it was created, why it's needed, and also the crypto market. So we have, really from the history of money to discussing network effects, and discussing decentralization and Bitcoin's role in the global financial system, why it's such a disruptor and why it's so important. We also touch on Ethereum, DeFi, and NFTs, and also talk about beginning to prepare how to build an altcoin portfolio and how to distribute that. Then our next course is the one that I find the most important, and I've made it completely free of charge because I do want as many people to take this course as possible, and that is Bitcoin Self-Custody 101. So this course really covers setting up your Trezor, protecting your private keys, best practices for self-custody, and all of the essentials that you need to self-custody your Bitcoin safely. The next course is strategic crypto portfolio construction. So this really is an overview of the art of allocation, diversification, and risk management. And so this covers the different portfolios that you may have, whether it be investment portfolios, earn portfolios, or trading portfolios, and how to diversify and allocate to those different portfolios. The next one, which will be loaded, it's coming soon, it will be loaded in December, is Financial Astrology 101. So this is really giving you the basics of financial astrology, the foundations of financial astrology. So it will allow you to engage with my videos on a deeper level and understanding. And you will be able to really dive deep on Bitcoin's natal chart and also begin to start diving deep into financial astrology yourself and start viewing it through your personal lens. Now, the next courses that we have are about my most asked question, and that is, where do I go to learn to trade? I have gone through so many different trading courses to seek out the best for you. And I was really disappointed in a lot of them, if I'm really, really honest. Um, I want to sort of dispel some, before I get into it, I want to dispel some myths around trading. And the first one being that trading itself is a scam. It's not a scam. People do lose a lot of money trading. I think the statistic is something like 97% of people who trade will lose money. But my answer to that is you just want to be in that 3% and you want to align to that. So trading itself is not a scam. However, there are a lot of kind of scammy things out there associated with trading, signals groups, and just some of the things that are said about trading that are just not true. So, number one, the trading is easy. It's not easy. Number two, that trading is passive income. It's not passive. It is very much active. You are actively trading. And also, number three is really around strategy and education. There are tons of videos, tons of courses around that sort of say, you know what, I have this, 100% win rate strategy, and it's just 3 easy steps, and you can just apply it to the market and print money, basically. This is incredibly unrealistic and just sadly not true. So I would be very wary when you're looking at things around trading. Um, really, are you learning from people that actually make their living from trading? Or are they making money from selling you something? Um, Also anything that is like recruitment orientated and things like that. I'd be wary of those things personally. Up to you, we're all adults, but I would be wary around those kind of things. The kind of things that are like, oh, if you recruit so many people, then you'll get this for free. It always begs the question, like, are these people really making money from trading, or are they just making money from recruiting people into something? So, yeah, as I said, be wary about those things. These courses are actually created by Annie. She's created the Trade by Design and Market Maker Method trading courses, and she also has the Invest by Design course suite as well. So I think she's done a phenomenal job in creating these, because I can't overstate how intimidating it is to actually embark on trying to create a course to teach people how to trade. She's done a really great job of balancing having enough information that it's truthful and honest, and realistic, but without going the other direction where it's a load of information that actually isn't really relevant and pertinent to trading. It's just understanding trading tools and things like that. I saw a lot of that out there as well. Yeah, as I said, she's done a really good job. This is not a quick um, learning experience. Like learning to trade really takes time. I see a lot of videos on YouTube that are like, watch this 5-minute video and apply this strategy. It's not a realistic approach to trading. I'm going to be very blunt with you here. Trading is really more like learning a language. It's rather than learning a strategy. Everybody's looking for that golden strategy, and it's not realistic. You need to learn the language of the markets. In the same way as if you were going to France and you knew 3 French words, they may work for you a couple of times, but you're going to have a much more successful experience if you learn to speak the language. And the markets are the same. You want to be conversing with the markets, listening to what the markets are telling you through the charts, and responding in that way. And yeah, as I said, I think Annie has done a phenomenal job of this. This is not something you're going to learn overnight. Um, to be brutally honest, it's going to take some time. It's going to take some practice. But if it is something you want to embark on, then learn properly. And I really liked her Trade by Design course. It's a very similar way that I view the markets when I'm trading traditional commodities. In her course, she also actually has some additional tools that I didn't even know existed, because they're specifically for the crypto markets and Bitcoin. They're not available in the traditional markets. So that was interesting. She also has a really great team that do market analysis, pre-session market analysis for every session every day. So they do the Asia session, the London session, and the New York session. And so that's really just a half an hour pre-market, and they go through what they're seeing in the charts. It's just pure analysis, no hype, no yelling at you, you've got to buy this coin or you're going to miss out. None of that. Just really solid people, very experienced traders. And even though I am an experienced trader myself, I really get a lot out of those sessions, because trading is a solo sport, and it can become a little bit of a vacuum, and the markets you can see what you want to see in the markets. So it's actually really great to have other traders doing this analysis, so that you can, most of the time, to be honest, we're seeing the same thing and it's confirmation. But there are occasions when maybe they're looking at a different time frame than I am, and I miss something. And not that that causes you to throw out your own analysis, absolutely not, but it does cause you to maybe take a second look. So that's also something that's really supportive. And I kind of love that about her group as well. So she also has the Invest by Design tier as well, which is really more for people who maybe have a bit more capital to invest and want something, a very solid strategy, to engage in the crypto markets and build their portfolio in the crypto markets. Or maybe someone who has been in crypto for a while, and their portfolios are looking a lot more substantial and they want to take it a bit more seriously. This is a really good course suite for you. And she also does a lot of altcoin updates, portfolio updates, and things like that, which I don't do because it's not my zone of genius at all. It's not my zone of interest. So that's also something that's really that's really useful as well. So I hope you enjoy and make use of all of these tools that we've created and provided for you. They are for you. If you want to dig a little bit deeper and deepen your knowledge and understanding in the crypto markets, please avail yourself of these tools. They're for you, they're not for us. You don't need to buy them to support the channel or whatever it is that other Bitcoiners say. We're good. You don't need to do that. But if you want to support yourself with a bit more knowledge and understanding, then they are available to you. So please make use of them. And that's about all I have for this part of the moon cycle. I will see you for the Gemini full moon, and enjoy Sagittarius season. It's a beautiful, expansive energy. It's very fun and optimistic, and dream big. Dream big, set your intentions for the following year, and manifest big in 2025. Like, go big or go home. That's the reality of Sagittarius season. So enjoy, and until the Gemini full moon, peace, love, and Bitcoin.